Banana.
Banana. Okay. Welcome to Mek Sense with Melzy, where we make sense of the world we live in through real culture conversations. Let's face it, who really has it all figured out? I certainly don't. And this is why we need to make sense together. So, before I introduce my first guest, my birthday was a few weeks ago, and I had such an amazing birthday. Thank you so much for all of your birthday messages. It was super, super cute. But you know what it means like when you're getting a little bit older, you're getting a bit more wiser. Going through this transitional period at the moment where I'm reevaluating life. You know how it gets when you get a little bit older, you're like, are you really doing the things you should be doing at this age? So I'm reevaluating a lot of stuff at the moment. But yes, my birthday was amazing. I got some really cute presents. I spent a lot of time with family and friends. And I just love birthday celebrations anyway. So if you didn't actually catch my previous episode, which was Taurus season, go and check that out on our YouTube page, melzy.j. So today we are going to be making sense of food, fasting, healing, and making sure that your mind, body, and soul is all in check. Now, I'm thinking to myself, who's the best person to get for this episode? And I've known this person for many years. It's probably coming up to about 7 years now. I could be wrong. Now, it's probably been about 7 years, actually. That's probably right. And this particular guest, I've actually interviewed on every single platform that I've been on. So that basically means that they're amazing and it's going to be a great interview because we've had her back time and time and time again. So my new guest here on Mek Sense with Melzy is a Ital chef, healer. She uses food to support and build up the body. She is all about spiritual cleansing. She's plant-based medicine, all about frequencies and making sure that your mind and body, soul are as one. Please welcome my guest, Ital Alex.
Hi, Melzy.
How's it going?
Good. I'm really well.
Really well.
I can't complain.
You look great.
Thank you very
Your
much.
skin's just glowing. Like, what really is the secret? I don't understand.
Drink your water and mind your business.
Drink water and mind your business. Hey, I literally said that to someone just yesterday. Like, just drink your water, mind your business. Don't worry about it, and you'll be fine. Obviously, we've known each other for like such a long time, and I've seen you like really build up your social media. Not you with your 15k followers. You know, you're always cooking amazing food. And what I love about your page is it inspires me to at least include like a vegan dish into my kind of like weekly menu. Because we're so used to eating meat or chicken or fish. It's like sometimes it is really important to kind of give your body that kind of break.
Of course.
How long have you been a vegan for and what made you turn into a vegan?
Wow, 2011, I was having a lot of spiritual awakenings during that period, especially 2012.
Right.
So I think it's the end October 2011. I literally just started that, yep, I'm not eating meat anymore. Everyone around me is like, what do you mean? I said, I'm just not going to eat it. So
Pause.
literally.
So you just stopped and was just like, I'm
gonna
not doing
stop.
it anymore.
Yeah, and I literally remember doing one day where I just had salads. Let me just see how my body reacts just to having salads for a day. And my energy was buzzing. And I was like, okay, cool. This is different. Okay, I'm going to go for it. So when I was at my ex's mum's, she's dishing out dinner and I'm like, just give me the rice, just give me the vegetable and the salad. And she's like, well, what do you mean? You don't even want the gravy? Nah, I don't want it. But I was still eating fish at that period.
Okay.
So she didn't have fish that day, but she continued to give me fish. And when it got to 2012, I was like, yep, time for the fish to go. But the dairy had already gone before I even stopped eating the meat, because obviously I already knew the effects of that. And then from there, I just continued just pushing forward. And it was harder then because you can't just go into a restaurant and say that you wanted a vegan food at that point. You're getting chips or you're getting some cucumber and lettuce. So that's all that there was in the restaurant. So I had to get in the kitchen and,
create your own.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I feel like now, like being vegan's like a thing.
Yeah, it's much easier now.
It's much easier now. There's vegan restaurants. There's so many different vegan spots that you can go to. There's different options that you can choose. I know you had your vegan shop before as well.
Yeah.
I actually sent my brother there one day, and he literally called me like a couple of weeks ago and was like, "Mal, where's that vegan shop? Where's that?" He's like, "It's closed down." It's like, nah. That food was nice, Was that kind of like a natural progression for you because you wanted to then feed other people, or was that more for yourself?
Well, with the whole restaurant element, I started by doing cooking classes. That's how I started trying to get the food into people's homes, by them actually cooking with their children and whatnot. And then after that, people just asking me like, when are you gonna sell the food? So I started doing events and pop-ups. I was doing pop-ups in Hockley for like 9 months, every single week, twice a week. Started 1 day a week, then people said wanted more, so I done 2 days a week. Did 9 months of that, and then went into Sutton. I had to look at their market stores and noticed that there was one there that we could actually use. So me and 2 others, Leah and Shiloh, we literally got together as a threesome and literally said, okay, let's do Earth's Kitchen. So we've sat down, and because we're all earth signs, we've come up with the name Earth's Kitchen. And it was like, Earth's Kitchen actually makes sense because like food's from the earth. Yeah. The food from the earth and whatnot. So we did that for like nearly a year in that location. And then obviously like Leah got pregnant, Shiloh had his own things to deal with, so then he's left. She couldn't literally continue. We was meant to do a collaboration with somebody else in Digbeth. That fell through and we'd already closed that down. So then I had a rest for a year. And then my partner that I was with at that time, he was like, yo, I want to invest. Do you want to do it again? And I was like, really? He was like, yeah, just go look for somewhere. So then I looked, found someone in Digbeth. Then I was there for 3 years.
Yes, a man that wants to invest in your dreams, girl.
Yeah. So I did ask Leah if she was on it, and she's just, nah, it's just not the right time. She needs to spend time with her son, which I understood. But yeah, it was a lot of work though, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I remember I used to walk past you. He was just always busy, always busy.
Burning a candle both ends.
Literally, I literally remember that a couple of years ago. He was like, man, I'm running around, I'm rushing around.
It was constant.
I can imagine.
It was constant.
Cooking in the kitchen's not easy. I think people think it's an easy job to do, but when you're cooking for like 200, 300 people, it's on top. I don't think I could do that.
Man. Like I literally went so skinny because I wasn't eating properly. Like my routine was just sketchy, just because I had to be there for 13 hours a day, chained to a kitchen. And that was a lot for me, and that's part of the reason why I decided, you know what, I can't do this no more. I'm trying to find some type of balance or some type of structure that works, and it's not working. So you have to be honest. And there were moments where I was like literally crying because like the emotions were just surfacing, and I was like, okay, what's going on here? Sometimes things surface internally and then start to surface on the outside, and it's like you don't really know what's happening until you sit down and listen to yourself. And when I did sit down and listen, I'm like, oh wow, I've got to let go of this place. No one understood it.
It's kind of like letting go of your baby, and it's definitely. Like, okay, it's not my baby anymore, it's a godchild, I need to birth a new one. I get that. That can be quite difficult sometimes.
Yeah, and even the staff that I had, it was a family, man. Like, it wasn't just about food in that place. It literally ended up in a spiritual hub also, because people would meet there. There's so much people that I actually got together meeting there, and people come there for their first dates, and like 2 of my staff ended up getting together because of that place.
No way.
There's just so much that occurred and happened.
Well, see, this is the thing, like food is just such a medium that brings people together, no matter what kind of food it is.
Definitely.
But also food can also ruin you and your whole entire existence. How are you feeling about Eddie Abu and his whole opinions on not eating sweets and chocolate? He's like going viral at the moment.
I don't think I've actually heard of him. I don't know the name.
He's like a black guy, buff
black
guy,
Glasses.
but glass.
There we go then. See, I don't know the name.
Yeah. Because I know there's a lot of people online at the moment that are like talking about healthy food, fitness. And I find sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming because it's like, who's telling the truth? Who ain't telling the truth?
Yep.
You got to take everything with a pinch of salt. But in terms of like being a vegan, like what would be the reason to be a vegan and what would be the process to become a vegan if someone or someone in the audience is considering it?
Okay, so first you asked me about the fact of sweets and crisps and stuff, not eating that type of stuff. Obviously, everything in moderation. I don't think those things are good for people in bulk. Like if you just guzzling stuff like that down, sooner or later, inflammation's going to occur in the body somehow. So I agree in that sense, but I don't think there's anything wrong with a treat. I don't think anything's wrong with that. You just have to make sure you're just taking your time with it. But it also depends on the body, because someone could eat chocolate and they just literally have a complete rash all over their body. They don't, it doesn't do it for them. Someone could eat gluten, their stomach's bloated.
And it's fine
So
for them.
so who are you as a person and what actually works
I
for
just
you?
look at cheesecake and I instantly put on a cookie balance. It ain't even got to reach my mouth at this point.
Serious, I believe everyone's different. So this is why I try not to even use the word vegan, because I feel like so much comes with that word. People believe that you're in this particular category that's, you want to bark at people for eating certain things, at people for wearing certain things. I'm not about that life, because I believe everyone's here to have a particular experience for their own good and for their own journeys. We've all come here to learn particular things. You know, before we came here, we said, I'm going to come here to learn X, Y, and Z. And what if that entails eating some meat? That's their experience, and who am I to say that they shouldn't? But if they want to eat healthier or eat a different way, come to me and I can help you do that. If you want to do that a couple of days a week, come to me and I can help you do that.
Because it's little stages, isn't it? And I suppose, like you said, it's about understanding like your body, like whether you're lactose intolerant,
Definitely
what works well with you, what don't work well with me. Like lately, because I've been doing some fasting here and there, and I've been eating healthily due to the gym and stuff like that. Like if I binge and eat crisps and chocolate, I wake up the next day and I'm physically sick. Like I feel sick to my stomach, to my core. And it's like, it's weird. Do you get what I mean? It's like when you kind of break away from that and then you go back to it, your body's like, what are you doing, sis?
Exactly.
You want to be eating this?
And more time when you're binging on stuff like that is because something's happening in the emotional body. Something's irritated you, pissed you off, something's gone on. So now you're actually eating for those emotions. And that is literally an eating disorder. Most people don't actually know. Like it's like bulimia. It's like it literally is like bulimia. It's like anorexia, because you're literally stuffing your face with all of these sweet treats and feeding that particular emotion with all of this sugar, which obviously then ends up causing parasites, which is then an actual it continues.
Yeah, because in that Queen Afro book, Sacred Woman, she basically talks about a lot of like if you're eating like sugar or chocolate, anything that's sugary, that's linked to like loneliness and depression.
There you go.
So what are you saying? I'm lonely?
No.
Lonely. I am so lonely. I have nobody. What, do you know what I mean?
I feel like everything can moderate. If you're a person that's sitting and eating constant chocolate, and this is what happens, right? We have that particular person that's sitting with ice cream and chocolate. What do you think? Oh my gosh, she's had heartbreak. Automatically, you're going to think that. So some things do coincide with others. Like when people say you eat crunchy stuff, people say that that person's more prone to anger or irritation, or because they like those crunchy. I actually like crunchy stuff, so I was like, is that even the truth though?
I love crunchy and crispy. You know? If I'm going to get a Chinese, what's on the crispy menu? Like, I need a battered prawns or a battered something.
So you're down for that, yeah?
I'm down for that. So maybe that's a bit me as well. So I suppose it's about understanding like your personal body. I've always wanted to do one of those tests where, you know, you do a full body inside and out checkup. So you don't really know whether you're sick until you're sick. You don't know anything's wrong until it's wrong.
Most people ain't in tune with their bodies though.
That too.
Because it's like, if I sat with myself for a day, I'm like, okay, headaches, what's going on there? Automatically, if I've got a headache, automatically I'm going to, what was my water intake like today?
That's what I do.
What was my water intake like yesterday?
Yeah.
I didn't drink enough. I'm dehydrated.
Yes.
My brain's trying to literally pull water from other spaces and places. Most people only realize, oh, I'm thirsty when the first hits their lips and their lips get dry. But if that's happened, like, what's going on for the rest of the body then? Because it's crept all the way up the esophagus to get to your lips. Like, hunger is the same feeling as thirsty. It's the exact same feeling, but most people don't differentiate either. So if you're hungry, like, drink some water first.
Do they say that you have to drink a glass of water before you eat? Is that supposed to stop you from eating more?
If you drink water before you eat, you're supposed to give yourself at least an hour. Like,
Right.
you don't think you're supposed to eat and drink together, because if you're doing that, it's disturbing the acids that are in the stomach that need to digest the actual food, and then the digestion doesn't work properly. So drinking and eating is actually supposed to be separate.
You do get full though.
Yeah, definitely, because that water is taking up that space. But like I said, it's also disturbing the acids that are needed to digest the food, so the food's actually not digesting properly. So you probably won't be going toilet like you're supposed to be, then wondering why am I bloated? But water is one thing that's going to help you to flush out the digestive system. So yes, drinking water before eating is definitely good, but give it a little bit of time in order for you to digest that water first before you then eat. And drinking water when you wake up is essential, because that gets the digestive system started.
Yeah, I've noticed that, because I used to have a coffee in the morning, and now I've stopped having like coffees in the morning because I just don't eat until 1-2 o'clock.
So why have you noticed the differences other than that?
Was
you thirsty?
I was thirsty, yeah, and coffee was obviously curbing my hunger, innit? But since I've started drinking like water first thing in the morning, my body's like, okay, we need to eat something now. So it is that thing of like understanding your body and like changing your routine, because obviously now I've started going to the gym and stuff. I'm probably eating and trying to eat more protein, but I can't eat the food that they're expecting me to eat, like Fitness app, Fitness Pal, whatever you're telling me to eat. Yeah, it ain't it. Like the amount of, I think it's like 160 grams of protein, this amount of and I've tried to eat all of that amount of food in one day, and I feel like it's almost impossible.
Too much
food. Whereas since I've started doing it, I did a fast at the start of the year, fasted a little bit during Ramadan, so I've done a little bit of fasting. So since I've been doing that, it's like I only really want one meal a day. Do you feel like you can survive on one meal a day?
Definitely.
Because people in other countries probably have like fruit and one meal a day, right?
The body doesn't need as much food as we think it does.
Do you think?
'Cause if you can fast for days, if I can fast for a clean week and my body's actually okay and it feels more vibrant, I could tune in a whole lot more, then that clearly shows me that the body doesn't need as much food as I think it does. But if the stomach is like as small as a fist, then I'm literally stretching that by eating huge plates of food constantly, 3 meals a day, because I'm like, yep, breakfast, lunch, always this time, dinner. And we're literally programmed in specific ways when that doesn't work for everyone. It really doesn't.
Yeah, because some people do eat more than, and it's metabolisms as well, isn't it?
And maybe you're eating wrong things, that are actually not 100 for you. So maybe that pasta that you've got on that plate is like, okay, cool. When you eat that pasta, it's like automatic bloats.
I actually had to cut out pasta, Pasta's probably one of the things I cut out probably like 3 years ago, because I noticed pasta, lasagna, all of them kind of dishes made me hella bloated.
Did you try gluten-free?
Nah.
Or Spout? And I say Spout because obviously Spout isn't gluten-free, but because Spout's an ancient grain, it hasn't been tampered with. Because it hasn't been tampered with, it doesn't have the effects that all these gluten stuff have. That's the reason why people are gluten intolerant, because they've tampered with the wheat in order for it to yield more and to be a little bit shorter, so it's not that tall. And they've done so much different things to it so they can have a better yield, but that's actually affecting people's stomachs because of what they've done.
Yeah, because the bread, the flour, I think I'm gluten, Explain to the audience what gluten is, because I feel like that's also a thing at the moment.
It kind of is like chewing gum.
Oh,
sounds crazy,
disgusting.
But it literally is like a chewing gum texture once it hits the stomach. So obviously having too much of that is not good for you. I'm not going to say that everybody is intolerant to it, because some people actually eat and like not bloated at all, absolutely fine, but it's still going to be sitting in that digestive system, so it takes a long while for that to come out. I think it could be 2 to 3 weeks if I'm right. It does take a while in order for it to flush out of the system itself.
And
so it's
what
like
foods
gloopy,
have got, like,
gluey.
gluten in it, like bread, pasta?
Yeah, literally bread, pastas,
What about potatoes?
flour. Potatoes starch, so that doesn't have that.
Yeah.
But things that have that gloopy type of texture once you chew them, because you get that with bread, right? It just rolls up and has that gloopy texture to it. So there are things that have that.
Yeah, because I think when I stopped having the gluten, pasta for a little bit, I even stopped rolling up dumplings, and me love a fried dumpling, Alex. Me love a fried dumpling. Me love a boiled dumpling. Me love a order better on the market when it's soft.
Level still, you can't deny that.
No, that's just, it's too nice. A really cool fish on the side and an avocado and a plantain. Nah, but
this is why I use so much Sprout.
Yeah,
because if I can use Sprout and it reacts so much better to me.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have the same interaction that I have with normal flour that I have with Sprout.
I don't buy any bread in the house, even though I just had a cheese sandwich, a cheese baguette. Only because Morrison's do the best cheese baguettes. Every so often I'll have a little sandwich, but I don't buy bread in the house because I feel like if it's not in the house,
then you won't use it.
You won't use it. I don't buy pasta anymore, so I don't even include pasta in it. I used to miss rasta pasta. Used to love a little rasta pasta. Can't even do that.
You can tell that it's here in your heart when you talk about it.
It's just so hard because I think, if you know better, you've got to do better. And,
it's true.
We're not getting any younger, so this really is the time to be like investing in your body, because I do kind of I want to live to 100. Like my nan's,
do you really want to live to 100?
Yeah.
Interesting.
My nan,
my nan did live to 102.
Amazing.
But I think would I want to, because I've seen her just see so many people that have just passed away and stuff, and be within a space that was just lonely, if you want to say it like that, because it's like there's nobody around that actually understands her lifetime anymore. Do you get me? So I always wonder if I really would want to, but who knows? I suppose it depends on what's the word I'm looking for? Like, what is my life like?
Right. And what's the environment like?
Yeah.
100 here, it's a no from me.
Definitely. 100 in a hot
Africa?
place. Yeah.
Jamaica?
I agree.
We can make it work, because then that last bit of my life I can just be sipping. I want to say mimosas. But I don't think I'm going to be sipping samosas.
You're going to make those yardy samosas, yeah? I mean, samosas? Mimosas.
I don't think I'll be sipping mimosas at night, but yeah, I think it's more environment based, I think, because everyone passes away at some point. It's inevitable. It's going to happen.
It's the only thing you're guaranteed.
Right.
From the day you are born, you are guaranteed death. You're not even guaranteed shelter. You're not guaranteed food. You're not guaranteed love. You're guaranteed death, though.
Yeah. So I feel like it's important to live the best physical life that you can live. And I think now I've got myself into that whole gym routine. And I've seen how the gym's really helped with my mental health. It's helped me get focused. It's helped with my routine. Like this week I've been trying to do like early gym sessions. So like I'm eating a little bit early and I'm stopping eating at 6. And, kind of just gets the body moving more. I think as soon as you start staying stagnant with your body and then you start eating shit and then it's one thing after another, expect to get diabetes, expect to get certain things, because if you're not replenishing your body
definitely
and feeding it with the stuff that it needs to have, then you're going to feel low energy.
Oh, definitely.
And I feel like sometimes when I do feel low energy, the first thing I do is fast, because I feel like that just gives me a nice little bit of cleanse. Like, why do you think it's important to fast? Because I know you're a spiritual serial faster.
Yeah, I just know the times when I need to fast for self, because certain things will start happening with my body and the mind and the emotions that then tell me that, okay, it's time. Close the curtains for a little bit. But I think it's very important, because it allows the body to give the body a rest. So if I'm giving the actual physical body a rest from doing any digestion, it's not doing anything else, it's not absorbing. Let me take this out and put this in the blood, and take this out and put this in the liver. Now the liver needs to filter this. Now the kidneys need to do that. And because it's not doing all of that constantly, it's not actually burning energy in that way. So now it can focus in other spaces. So now it can be like, okay, now I can have a meditation. And then now your mind can be ticking and clicking in a different way, because the stomach's your second brain. Like, even though it kind of feels like the first, but stomach's the second brain.
Yo, that stomach feels like the first brain.
There you go. Because if you are ruled by the stomach, this is why it's like, okay, you have to make sure you're sitting in your kingdom, which is literally within the mind. Control your mind, right? Because the battle's in the mind first.
Always.
But if you're not controlling the stomach, then you're eating any and anything that's going inside your body, and it's literally a form of control where the food's controlling you. So the food's now your God in a certain way, because you're allowing it to control your environment and yourself. So if the stomach itself is the second brain and it's communicating with the first brain constantly, they're constantly in communication through the vagus nerve. Information's traveling up, down, and up and down. Now, if the information that's traveling up and down now is very serene and very calm and then that's going to allow my brain to actually move better. That's going to allow my spirit to actually move better. That's going to be able to connect better, because obviously your crown chakra's here. Information's constantly flooding down from your higher self, from source, from the most high, whatever you want to call it. Information is constantly flowing down. So now I can actually get where I need to move, where I need to walk, where I need to go, clearer and better. So the prayers that I'm actually giving out, I can hear the answers quicker, clearer, because there's nothing in the way. There's no fog, there's no smoke, there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? There's no clutter.
Yeah.
And I feel like for fasting, it literally declutters the mind, declutters the stomach, it declutters everything that's going on inside the physical body. So now I can tune into my emotional body and say, okay, what's really happening with my emotions? How do I feel? Start journaling. Why do I feel like that? What can I do about it? And for me, those are some journal prompts that really work. How do I feel? Why do I feel like that? What can I do about it? And those journal prompts have really helped me, because then you're saying, okay, if I can't do nothing about it, well, why am I worrying about it? Why am I focused on it?
I learned that in therapy. Worry about it for 20 minutes. But if you can't do anything about it, we ain't going to worry about it.
Exactly. Yeah. Because it's going to cause stress, which then causes irritation in the body, which then causes inflammation. There you go. And then we're on a continuous cycle, because stress can actually cause the skin to start flaring out. And then people are like, I don't know where this rash is coming from. I'm not eating this and I'm not eating that. And I'm not in, wow, it could be coming from the emotional state of the body. Do you know? And most people don't look at the other bodies. They're just saying, physical body, that's it. No.
Could you break down all of those bodies for people that don't know? Should I have a guess?
Go on. Go with it.
You got your physical body.
Yep.
You got your spiritual body.
Mm-hmm.
That's as far as I go.
Emotional body.
Emotional body.
Mental body.
Oh, mental body. Physical
etheric body. Etheric body.
What's
like
your etheric body?
All right. So the ethers is a space where, you know, when you're sitting down and you get messages, for instance, or a psychic healer will get messages for somebody. That's where the messages are coming from, through the ethers, traveling through the ethers to your ears, and then you hear that message and you're relaying it back, and then like, oh wow, how did you know that? How did you know that I needed that at that moment in time? So that etheric body is traveling through the astral realms and can travel to different spaces. Like when you're sleeping, your astral body, that's also another body where you actually travel to certain places, and people think, oh yeah, it's just
a dream,
a TV that's going on inside my mind. And wow, no, sometimes you're actually traveling. This is why you can get messages through dreams, and you wake up and you're like, why did I see such and such just do that? Raw. Within a week's time, it happens now, and you're like, whoa, how come that actually knew that you was going to do that?
So what's that called? The
astral body.
The astral body. I think I'm very...
Astral, yeah.
I think I'm tuned in with my astral body, you know? 'Cause I dream a lot. One time, when I'm fasting now, whoa, it's a bit on 10, but like...
There you go.
I can have a dream. I think I've dreamt before that my friend, she was having a baby. And basically, I called her, I'm like, yo, I just had a dream that you had a baby. And she was like, oh my gosh, I've literally was celibate for months and I've just had sex. And then she called me back 3 days later. She was like, I'm pregnant. And this was only like, what, maybe last year, maybe start of this year, last year.
There you go.
So I do feel like I'm probably tapped into that. Because I do have this dream thing where I dream loads of things, but I try not to tap into it too much because I've had nightmares. There's been years where I've had nightmares, and that shit's scary.
It is. Some nightmares, if you're being chased, for instance,
Oh.
stop, because something's in your subconscious mind that's trying to get your attention. And I've noticed that, for instance, when I have people in, do we want to go into that? We are going to go into that. When I have people in ceremonies, spiritual ceremonies, where they're taking certain things and they're going into the subconscious mind, there will be, for instance, there's a clown and they don't like clowns. They're scared of clowns in real life. And then there's a clown that's literally hiding a situation that happened to them that's very traumatic. And they've put that in place without realizing it. They've actually put that in place themselves to cover that situation so they don't see it now. So now that's the issue that I have with clowns, because they've covered it. You get me, for a traumatic experience, so they don't want to go near it now.
Dealing with it head on.
Now you got to face it.
Right.
So in your dream, you're going to run around constantly, a clown's chasing you, and you're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Stop, ask the clown, what do you want? What do you want?
Like, face it head on.
Literally, what do you want? And then once it tells you now, it's like, oh my gosh, I forgot that happened at me at 4 years old. Boom, boom, boom. Now you got to work through that. And when you work through that, you receive your rewards, because it's no longer holding you back in certain ways. So I believe that certain dreams and, nightmares, however you want to see it, like that, are definitely calling for your attention to focus on something specific.
Can you explain like the different types of fasts?
Well, I'll put it this way. When I first started to become much more tapped into my spiritual body, right? I've always seen like literally people that have passed away and stuff from a young age, from when I was really young. So I was already tapped into stuff, but then I started to have a lot of awakenings as time started to go on. And when various things happened, when I was 16, for instance, and lost my brother, that was a huge awakening moment for me. Huge. Because it literally shattered everything that was around me, shattered my whole stratosphere,
It would.
opened me up to a whole different realm, because now life's changed and the timeline has changed.
And that's something to push through and deal with now.
There you go.
And without a sibling, that's...
Yeah, definitely. And that was my security blanket. Like, security
100%,
blanket.
100%.
Like, nobody could try me. No one could trouble me, because he's going to go nuts at you. So in that occurring, and then the awakenings that I was having through time, I started to realize that, okay, I want to get more deeper into who it is that I am. Why am I here? I used to ask those questions as a child. Why am I here? Why am I me? Why am I called what I'm called? Why is my name what my name is? Then I started studying my name, and I started to realize, oh, Alexandria, defender of man. Interesting, because I'm that person that if someone's being bullied, I'm the first person to jump and say, what are you doing? Don't do that. Okay, why am I here? What gifts do I have? I started to ask all these questions. But in order for me to actually listen properly, I need to fast from the music I'm listening to. I need to fast from the people I'm around. I need to fast from watching TV, because that's a program. So all these programs are now programming my mind in a specific way, which is then reacting to my actual lifestyle. So if I'm listening to certain music, it's going to bring certain energies. If I'm listening to certain people, it's going to bring particular energies. Watching certain things, what am I reading? What am I thinking? All of these levels I started to fast on, so I could actually find me.
Yeah.
Most people don't know who they are, because they're a accumulation of all of these things that are outside of them. They literally talk like this person. They act like this person.
And they look like that person.
Yeah. And they don't even know who they actually are. Like, and they may want to wear a pink jacket with a luminous green and yellow earrings, and draw symbols on their face. And I say it so obvious like that because I wanted to do this for so many years, and I was like, yeah, people are going to be looking at me, but there's something in my soul that's telling me that this is me. So I need to do that because that's my expression of self. And then once I started doing that, everything just started to align, because I'm really being who it is that I am. So then from that, fasting in that way, once I get home, now, okay, sit with self, breathe. What's going on inside of your being? Oh, wow. You just spoke and you just said something that such and such says. That's not your words. Okay, eradicate that. Control, Alt, delete. Control, Alt, delete. Literally.
I like that one. Control, Alt, delete.
Straight.
Yeah. We love that.
So I now know when people are rubbing off on me, whether it's in a positive way
Or a
it's in
negative
way. Because sometimes it's positive and I embrace that.
Yeah.
But if it's a negative way that's not serving me, then I have to deal with that automatically.
Yeah.
And the quicker I can find those parasites that want to latch onto me from other people and from other things I'm listening to, doing, saying, then the more I can actually be me along this journey, because we're always going to pick up parasites, whether externally, whether it's from food, whether it's from people, places, things. But we just have to learn how to deal with those, yeah.
And you said a really key point there in terms of like fasting from like TV and music, and because there's so much frequencies that come with all of those things. Like it's so easy to do what's going on social media or see what's going on TV and follow, and it takes a while to get to self. I think it's like a journey, and not everybody gets there.
Yeah, true.
Which is real sad, because not everybody gets to be their authentic self, or not everyone's comfortable being their authentic self. I'm struggling at the moment, and I'll be open and honest since we're having a transparent conversation. So I'm struggling at the moment because I'm not really enjoying going out.
And when you mean going out, you mean what, party?
Partying.
Okay.
I've always done it for so many years. But I'm just not enjoying it as much anymore. And it's got me in a space of like, why am I here? What am I doing? Am I still enjoying it? What do I feel like I'm missing out on as to why I don't want to go out? But what I realised is it is the new Melzy fighting with the old Melzy. That's the old Melzy. Do you get what I'm saying to you? And yeah, I might be in a club every now and again. I might have a drink every now and again, but to make it a thing as part of my life, it was part of my lifestyle. It was part of my lifestyle. And then it's like, okay, so then if you're not going to do that, what does this new lifestyle look like?
And
that's
you have to allow it to come, though. You have to allow it to come.
It's scary.
I did the same. That was one of the things that I had to completely fast from and take away, because I realised I was doing too much. I was trying to take ease, drink, smoke myself into oblivion, so I don't listen to what's going on, so I don't want to hear the emotions, I didn't want to hear it, because I didn't deal with, the people that had passed away around me. I didn't deal with the trauma. I didn't deal with it. So that was my way of dealing with it. Put a plaster on, put a plaster on, put a plaster on, put a plaster on. The plaster's gonna...
It's gonna fall off. It's plastic.
And like, even if you put a plaster on a cut, you have to take it off sooner or later in order for it to heal. So at some point, I started ripping plasters off, and whoa.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Because you have to go to like a deeper self to yourself, and then you have to look back at like... okay, so why am I this way? Like, what happened when I was younger?
Yeah, because obviously things are triggering you for a reason. Like, your triggers are literally the things that need healing. But they would have the biggest gold nuggets too. Because once you fix those triggers, and then you realize, oh, I was doing that because of that.
Yeah, this is my boundary now. I'm going to stop and move forward.
Exactly.
I'm trying to go into my soft life. And I don't mean soft, like my definition of soft life is like not worrying, not caring about outside opinions, not rushing places, taking my time. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Everything's slow, everything's easy, everything's planned, everything's flowing like water. I don't want a hurricane. I want it to flow like water. And I think sometimes when you're focusing on a lot of things, sometimes you might just react to someone and be like, don't talk to me like, you know what I mean? You might react sporadically or aggressively because you're a little bit scatty in your own mind, rather than, let me stop. Let me think about it. Then I'm going to respond.
That part right there. Where you say stop, think about it, respond. Most people don't. They just react. So it's an automatic reaction. But if you actually sit with yourself for a moment, you try to figure out, oh, I was going to say this, but I don't want to say this because that's kind of rude. Okay, how can I put it in a better way? Why am I actually saying it like that? And be okay with the silence. Most people are not okay with silence.
Okay with it.
So if you take that moment, it's like, okay, now we can reply. You're literally micromanaging your emotions. You know, you're managing your actual self. You're managing everything inside yourself, and growth is the only thing that can actually come from that.
Anything.
Most of us are thinking about what other people think. Is also something that you said about other people's opinions. That doesn't even matter, because guess what? People are going to talk regardless of what you do.
People want to chat you there regardless.
They'll
have something to say.
And they'll always have a story.
Yeah.
And the story's not how it went, you know.
It's not how it went, you know. Chinese whispers.
Got a story.
Like, nah, that was not the story when it first started. And it is that thing of sitting with self, because I find when you're sitting with self, you can only talk to yourself and God. There's no other way around it. That's all you can really talk to. And the universe, of course. But do you get what I'm saying to you? Like, there's no, you can't almost get out of it or get around it. So I have really learned to sit with self lately. And I think doing that over the last 2 to 3 years, it's not made me not need anyone, but I want you around. I don't need you around. And by it being a want and not a need, it gives me an opportunity to set more boundaries and be like, yo, I don't need you around. I want you around. But if you're going to be around me like that,
bye.
We can say bye to you. Because you're right. It is about that energy. It is about protecting your spirituality, who you are as a person. Because life be lifing, and shit gets real hard, real quick sometimes. You can be, I was talking about it before we even started. You could be up one day. I had the best birthday ever. The next day, life was like, getting on now, mate. Let's go. What are you doing now? I was peed off. Like, bare mad things happened the day after my birthday, but I had faith, and that's where I've probably changed. You know, I'll be all right. I'm not going to stress over it. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to get upset. How can I solve the problem? Do you get what I mean?
Everything always works out all right.
Yeah.
You're here now, innit?
Yeah.
Like, even last year, 2 years ago, this year, you don't understand what happened to me in 2016, but you're here right now. And you're good, yeah? Oh, yeah, but for real, though. So everything always works its way out, even if it looks like a madness. Because even for me, like, I've had 2 times when I've been homeless. And oh my gosh, it was horrible.
Gosh, what's that experience?
It was horrible. It was horrible. It was just horrible.
I remember when we had that
like,
conversation.
I was like, oh my
well.
gosh, what happened here? Like, the first time, it was literally, I started to go into entrepreneurship. And then I literally making the transition. This happened with the rent. That happened with that. That wasn't paying that. And it was just a whole load of but I've got proof. I've got proof of this and I got proof of that. But it just wasn't working. And I was like, okay, what's going on here? Then I got evicted from the house I was in. And I was like, huh? But I've got all the proof here. I was like, okay, so what's going on here? Let me look at the bigger picture. Then I started to look and say, okay, well, what if you're being realigned? You're in Newtown. You actually wanted to move out of this area anyway. Maybe this is the route. Okay. So now we're going to a shared accommodation. Only woman in the house. Cool. Can work with this. Oof, it's a bit different, but I can work with this.
Not testosterone round here.
Actually,
you know what I mean?
I was right at Pebble Mill Park. So I'd go there every day, get my nature in, get the water in, start talking my affirmations to self. Started the luck journey. Obviously, luck journey's gone now, but we're going to restart that at some point. Yeah, started that luck journey. I started so much in that period of time. I started my pop-ups then. I started so much in that period of time. And I started to realize, okay, it's a redirection. It's a realignment. Then I started to have deeper relationship with self and a deeper understanding and a deeper understanding and a deeper observation. And then obviously, you know, things just got better and better and better. But the second time, it wasn't so much of like funds are crazy or that. It wasn't even so much of that. I literally gave up the flat that I was in because it was like 6 months. Do you want to continue? Oh, no, you know, I'm not going to continue. Something in my spirit was telling me not to do that. I ended up giving up the whole Earth's Kitchen thing a few months later. And I was like, imagine I've now given up this Earth's Kitchen thing. If I did that and I continued, how was my rent going to be paid? So I moved back in with my ex and it's like, I don't really want to be here either. You get me? I pull myself out of that. I'm in hotels and I'm like, yo, what's going on here? What go on for me? I was sick for a week. When I was sick, I thought I was dying. My whole body was just shutting down. Like I said, it's a redirection. It's a refresh. My body's literally doing what it needs to do. It's ridding itself of all the emotions and feelings of the situation. And I think positively. And I was just talking to my friend. She's like, "No, you're coming to live with me, man. What are you doing?" So I was with her for 3 months. Took me 3 months, but I'm back on my feet again.
Yeah.
You get me? And then I was in shared again. And I was like, "Oh, this is a bit much." But I just had to,
roll with the punches.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So that's I said, I've been through some stuff, and I probably don't talk outwardly as much. You get me? People that are close to me will know certain things, but there's a handful of people, one handful of people that really, really, really deep down know me. Do you know what I mean? Know my weaknesses, know what's going on inside my mind at times, know what's happening, know what roller coaster I'm on, whether the roller coaster is exciting, is it scary, is it hilarious. They know where I'm at. And other than that, I don't really go too far out of that. I'm transparent, yes, because I like to actually help people and know that, my journey was a madness, but you still see me on social media, boom, 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 giving you wisdom and giving you this and giving you that. I'm never going to be looking like what I'm going through.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, you look a bit crazy. No, not me.
We never look like what we're going through. Like,
it's not happening.
I get the most amount of confidence when I've had the shittest day. And the only reason why I look good is because I had the shittest day. So at least if I could look in the mirror and be like, "You look cute, girl."
Yeah, man.
But you really need to sort out all this.
Make you feel better.
It just helps a little bit, don't it?
Yeah, it
Gives you
does.
a little spruce in your step. But yeah, we never look like the struggle behind it.
Definitely.
When you're doing like your spiritual ceremonies, like what does that kind of look like?
So we'll do plant medicine. And when I say plant medicine, I'm talking mushrooms, DMT, stuff like that. Obviously people see it as magic mushrooms or whatever, but these tools are tools that purge the soul. They're healers of the soul. They are the plant doctors, They show you what it is that you need to focus on. They show you what it is you need to heal, and they'll help you along that journey. So I then use those tools in order for me to help guide someone through what they're going through and the things that they need to heal and the demons they need to face, because people don't understand some of these demons are ugly. They don't actually look good, and I'm saying look good because I'm able to also see these things, and to eradicate these things people have to be ready to let go.
That part,
because not everyone is ready to let go.
Yeah.
And I'll know just by consultation, just by having a conversation with them in a consultation. I know if the person's ready or not, because that demon will start showing itself through things like they say, showing itself, and I'm like, okay. I'll see a shape shift in the face, and I'm like, okay. I can see what's happening here, because he already knows why I've come. He knows why I'm here, and it's not ready to, literally leave that space. But at the same time, I have to be understanding that these parasitic entities are here to do a specific job. So it's like, you're actually doing your job, so I'm not mad at you. But this host it's time for you to leave. You're not feeding here no more. So it entails the plant medicine, meditation, that type of stuff, in order for us to get to the real depths.
I suppose you have to take it in the right environment.
And you have to have the right
guidance. The right guidance as well. Because I have heard it's a bit of a trip. Yeah,
it can be, like this I said, depending on what it is that you need to face. It can be a hell of a trip. And there can be some imbalances just because, all the bodies ain't spinning at the right momentum. And then it's like, whoa, what's going on here? It's like, okay, breathe. And because I can see what's happening inside the body, I'll be like, oh, okay, I can see this, I can see that. Like a friend the other day, he was having a trip. I didn't have any that day. I didn't feel like I needed it. I felt like I was literally already entering those realms naturally. So automatically stuff started to surface for him, and I'm literally just tapping certain parts of his spine, tapping certain parts of his stomach. He's like, yo, how did you know how to do that? I could feel it. And then like the burps that he's got are getting lighter and lighter, and he's like, oh wow. And I said, yeah, but what's going on there? He said, what do you mean? I said, there's something sitting there and you're not dealing with it. And then he's gone in and he's like, oh, this and that and this and that, and it starts all pouring out, and he's like, how did you know to do that? I said, it's just naturally within my soul, because I've done it so many lifetimes. I understand how to do certain things. But I'm grateful because it helps people heal.
And it's important to do it in a safe place, guys. So don't be out here trying to go and get magic mushrooms from anyone random,
Nope.
because that's not what we're saying.
I don't think anyone should be selling them anyway.
No
I
one
don't
should-
think just
no.
any and anyone should
No,
be selling
it's
them.
not that
You
kind
just
of-
give it to anyone, and you know it could cause, you get
All
me, more harm
sorts.
than good. And I'm
Yeah,
saying more
yeah.
harm than good because now the thing that they're supposed to deal with is not dealt with, and now it's just lingering. Or now like the imbalance is literally coming into this life. It's like, yeah, it can be a lot. It can be a lot.
I think people have to be ready for that, and I think not everybody's. I know I wouldn't be ready for that. I mean, well, no, not me. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. I'm not ready.
But everyone's experiences are different. You know,
Everyone's
some people are
experience
just
is
going to be like,
different.
oh, it's in shapes and colours, and then
Yeah,
some people
I've
be
heard
like,
that
oh
as
my
well.
gosh, I seen one of my guys and he started talking to me and he did this and he did that. Oh, I had spiritual surgery, but I saw my nan. So it literally depends on the person and what it is that they're ready to deal with, because it's only going to show you what you're ready for.
And what kind of are the benefits like? So after someone's maybe come to like a spiritual ceremony and they've gone through that process with you, like what happens like after that in terms of their mind, their body, their soul?
Well, life starts changing, it starts shifting. So obviously it's always good to have conversations with them after to kind of see where they're at, that aftercare. But yeah, things always get lighter, things always get better for them. They're always like, yo, you've changed my life, and and the conversation's always a positive one. Because they can see the shifts that have happened through the work that they've done.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about me doing work. Yeah, I can help you and guide you, and if there's moments where I can see you struggling, well, I got you. But you also have to do the work and, you know, do certain things beforehand, and do certain things after, in order to make the process better.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting deep into this conversation right now. I think we're going to play a game now. Because you are plant-based, you should be able to guess each vegetable / fruit in my bag. So it's basically called Guess the Fruit. I just made this up. So I need you to close your eyes, and I'm going to hand you over a piece of fruit, and you have to guess
What it is.
what it is.
Okay.
Okay? Are you
I'll come
ready?
back with that. Let's go.
So here we have fruit number 1. Have a feel. What does it feel like?
Oh, this one's easy.
Go on then.
Pomegranate.
Well done. Okay. Next one. I feel like you're going to guess this one. Have a feel.
Mango.
Well done. This is too easy. This is too easy. This is the next piece of fruit we have, guys. Let's see if she can guess it.
This is interesting because it could be one of two.
Could be one of two. Which one is it?
I'm going to go for lychee.
Well done. You're
Wow.
really good at this. Okay. So this is the next piece of fruit that we're going to give Alex.
Okay, then.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure, but there's just...
Are you plant-based or nah? Are you plant-based or nah?
Is it a grape?
Well done. Your eyes are open.
Nah.
You're lying. Your eye, you
Not
probably
open
no.
at
You're
all.
looking through your third eye. Okay, next fruit.
Banana.
Banana. Okay, very well done. Oh my gosh, I'm running out of fruit. Okay, so this is the next piece of fruit we're gonna pass to her. She doesn't guess this one.
Avocado.
Wow. Yeah, you really guessed it.
Like,
Okay.
the skin's avocado-y.
Okay, the last one. Wow. Are you sure? Do you know what it is?
Lemon.
Congratulations, Alex. You beat me at this
Wow.
game. Well done.
I was like, it's too sharp at both ends though. Like lemon's sharp at both ends.
What kind of foods do you use to cook? Like,
It literally just depends what I'm feeling for, to be totally honest with you. Like I love a good lentil curry, coconut curry has to get that coconut in, and coriander. And some people don't like coriander though. Tastes
I
like soap.
love coriander. I think it's such a beautiful flavour.
They say that there's a gene inside the body that literally reacts differently to
Really?
coriander for some reason, but I don't know why.
Oh, wow.
So some people it tastes like
I want to
soap.
talk about your jackfruit dish.
One of my favourite things to do with jackfruit is shred it out, season it with some obviously vegan fish seasoning, and stuff that you'd put in an ackee and saltfish dish. So
Okay,
season up the
Scotch
jackfruit,
bonnet, spring
Yeah.
onion, thyme.
but just season it with like dry seasonings, and then pan fry it until it's crispy. Take it out, obviously cook down your ackee and stuff. I actually have a video of this one on YouTube.
Go check that out, guys.
Cook down all of that stuff, and then it literally is replicating the saltfish, but then you can add little pieces of seaweed to give it more of a fishy taste. So trust me, that's a good one.
What does it actually taste like though, jackfruit?
See, if you do it like that and it's like slightly crispy and stuff, then you will get that fishy taste to it.
Okay.
So the texture's much better when you do it like that. If you do it in chunks, then sometimes people are a little bit like, yeah, because you can get a little bit of a watery texture within it a little bit.
Yeah.
So some people it's not too much, but then if you chop it smaller and then southern fry it, like southern fry coating and stuff, then it can have chickeny texture.
So it's about kind of like making it taste like meat, even though it's meat. Isn't that cheating as a vegan? So, because for you to say to me, season up so it tastes like this chicken, but you don't want to eat chicken, how does that make sense?
I think a lot of people say that, why do vegans do that? Because most vegans actually don't hate
Meat.
Yeah, they don't
Right.
hate meat.
Right.
And some people like it's nostalgic. They actually want it, but they know that it's not good for them, or they want
Right.
it, so they don't want to harm animals, so they don't end up eating it. So they use something else that's a replica of it, and then you'll actually know what you're expecting as well. Because if I say that, this is a spin on stew chicken, for instance, you're gonna understand what it is that you're expecting in flavor and texture, even if it isn't the same, because you can't get exactly the same.
Yeah.
But you can replicate it as much as you want, because food's just textures and flavors, literally. Get right texture, right flavor.
I've started making a chickpea curry, which is like my new favourite vegetarian dish. Really cool. I do use curry powder though, which is probably not vegan.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
Yeah.
You know, little Scotch bonnet, little thyme, coconut milk. Love my little chickpea curry and rice. I think, didn't you taste my chickpea curry and rice once? No. Okay. Someone's tasted my chickpea curry and rice. But it's, like adding in like little dishes like that are like, sometimes I do like steamed cabbage and rice. But I want more. I do want to kind of like add in more, because your page looks so colourful. I've never seen a food page look so colourful. And if there's loads of colours and loads of different bits and bobs, I think I'll eat it. Do you know what I mean?
It'll be a bit different.
It would be a bit different.
Like when I did food the other day, because obviously people will still buy food off me and stuff.
Yeah.
And I did
you
like
didn't bring none today, no?
that was Saturday. Like, I ain't gonna bring you no
now
Saturday
the-
food.
Oh, now the Ital Alex ain't cook for me, Oh, now.
It's all right, man. You special, so you actually get some
3-star.
private cooking
Yeah,
and
man.
that.
Yeah, man.
You got this.
I need a whole cooking session with you. I'll be the first person to come on your little show,
Let's do it.
because I need to learn how to cook.
Let's do it.
It's quite expensive though, isn't it? Or is it?
People always say that, but I don't mind investing in my health. So I am big on that when it comes to like superfoods and different powders, and I'll spend £15 on that, £20 on that packet, and it's nothing for me to actually do that. But it's not as expensive as people make out, because you can go to all these supermarkets nowadays and you can buy like the range that's on offer in there. They're like, oh, this vegetable's on offer, this vegetable's on offer, 39p. So you can buy a lot of different vegetables. You can get yourself a couple of tins of coconut milk if you want.
Yeah.
You can get things that are actually cheaper and put them together, roast down the vegetables, chop them really small with some mushrooms, cook that down. There's so much different things that you can actually do, and then different herbs and stuff to make different flavors. So it's not as expensive as people make out, But if you then want to start buying your lion's mane powders and your this and your that and your rhodiola and all of these types of things that are supplements, you know, for different parts of the body, then yeah, it can be. But people don't mind buying Balenciaga trainers.
Amen.
So you have to get your priorities in check.
Where's your priority? And in all actuality, I've probably complained about the price of food on this podcast like every episode. Why are you charging me £2 for something that I paid £1 for last year? Like, I think that's really...
It was true.
It's really messed up.
I feel like a lot of things went like that when the whole Brexit thing.
Yeah, man.
You're bringing this in from this place and that place and importing it, and then now it's more expensive. And unfortunately, but yeah, growing your own vegetables and stuff like that obviously will help. But it's not easy to do. To be honest, we have an allotment because I have with a few other people, but we just haven't been doing anything with it for a while. So yeah, that's something we need to get on right now.
Because I'm hearing like there might be a chance where we won't be able to even get certain foods at some point. Do you get what I mean?
And it's good to do that, but I don't want to live in England the rest of my life anyway. I'm not down for that. With where I've been so far, I'd love to do stints in Jamaica, just little months here and months there.
I feel like
Mexico.
Oh, Mexico. And I mean, America.
I loved it
That's
there.
not Mexican. Is that Mexican? Probably not.
Can't remember.
And I mean, America. Yeah, it's not Mexican.
But 2 years ago now, I was literally in Mexico, and it was just such a beautiful experience.
I
Loved
love
it.
Mexican food, you know.
So amazing. The people are amazing, spiritual, a lot of vegan food there.
Really?
I loved it.
Yeah, because they eat quite light, don't they? They do a lot of tacos, salad, vegetables.
Loved it.
You know, you got guacamole, you know, it's avocado. You are right. If you think about it, Mexican food is quite salad, tortilla based.
And there's loads of different vegan spots there as well.
Really? Because I remember I went to a Mexican restaurant in London, and I had like a vegan taco. Well, it was a vegetarian taco, but it had like feta cheese on it, some plantain and some salad. Oh my gosh, it was so bomb. It was so bomb. And anywhere I go and eat something nice, I'll always try and replicate it and cook it at home, because I ain't got time to be going out spending.
I think you should though.
But I think it's nice to be able to like cook different foods. So, like
Definitely.
doing a little Mexican dish with like prawns and oh, lovely.
Trust me.
Lovely jubbly. Right, give me
And
one.
other than there, barley.
Oh, barley.
Beautiful.
Barley's beautiful.
Cheap. Can't beat it.
Is it really that cheap?
Yeah, man. It's not cheap to get there, but it's cheap when you're there. You can get a place to stay for £15 a night. It's that cheap.
So if you had to choose one, because you've told me several now.
I told you 3 different ones.
Yeah, and that wasn't the question.
It's
Right
kinda
now, are you
hard.
just going to travel all over the gaff?
Yeah, I think I'll just be going around, because
Yeah.
I really want to go India and see what that's like too. And I want to go other places in Indonesia, because I really like Indonesia. I love Thailand. I loved Bali. I want to do Malaysia. I want to do a lot of different places.
I think it's important to travel and explore different foods, really, because what you realise is there's so many other places around the world that don't even mess with meat at all.
Seriously.
Like,
And got big vegan communities.
yeah.
Like even Germany is supposed to be really good for that. I went Rotterdam the other day, and wow, the vegan food there was so good.
Really?
I was impressed. Like I was really, really impressed.
That must have been good if you
Yeah.
impressed then.
Really impressed.
Babes, I love that for you. So what has Alex got coming up in the future?
Oh,
You reckon, what have you got coming up?
I really do want to get myself a spot again.
I love that.
I really do.
think
But
you should.
just doing it in a whole different way where I'm not held hostage.
Yeah.
I've learned so much now that I feel like the experience will, you know, show me the direction how to do it. And I've been inspired by so much other stuff that I'd really love another spot, because Brum needs it. There's nothing out here.
Yeah.
It's needed. It's wanted and it's needed. So other than that, like the podcasts, cooking classes, more cooking classes. It's been a while since I've put any of those out. So yeah, and then a few things in the pipelines that I won't quite say as yet. So yeah.
You better tell me them later on. So we've basically got a new like little segment into the show that because I'm experimenting with ideas at the moment. So what's one thing that don't make sense to you and something that does make sense for you? It could be a current situation, something you're going through now.
One thing that don't make sense.
I'll give you my one to start off with. So one thing that doesn't make sense to me right now is the way that garages want to charge females more money because they're not with a male. Like, I know you're looking at me as a female and you think I don't know what's going on with my car, even though I don't know what's going on with my car, but you should not be making assumptions, first and foremost. But because you're not with a man, it's like you're open to be vulnerable, to be scammed, because you're a woman and you don't know about cars. So that just doesn't make sense to me right now.
I agree.
And
that don't make sense.
It don't make sense. And I feel like we need more female mechanics. That's what I think it is. One thing that does make sense to me at the moment is my new routine. This new gym routine in the morning is fully making sense to me because it's just giving me like more energy throughout the day. Like, I don't have to go to the gym in the evening. And I feel like I'm getting so much more done before 12 o'clock. What's yours? What don't make sense to you,
One
Alex?
thing that don't make sense to me is how people will have assumptions or judge other people without actually knowing the person.
Let's talk about it.
That's annoying for me.
So annoying.
They just think, oh yeah, I heard this, or because I look and I see that, I'm automatically going to put you in this category. And it does not make sense.
Like, ask me the question. Like, ask me directly, like, what's going on? Like, it don't make sense. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people, so I think when people are judgmental though, they're normally projecting.
Very true.
They're projecting because their life's not where it should be. So that's why they're being judgmental in the first place. Because if you don't show a level of empathy to someone if they're going through a situation or whatever, what kind of person are you? You're either showing empathy, you're there to support, or you're judging their decisions.
Definitely.
And you're waiting for their downfall. And if you're judging someone's decisions and downfall, your life's probably not the greatest, babe.
Yeah, because someone else's decisions even won't make sense to you, but it's making sense to them.
Yeah.
Because that's where they're supposed to be going. You get me? Take your eye off them.
The ball. Yeah.
And focus on you.
And it goes back to sitting by yourself and blocking out the outside noise.
And what does make sense?
What does make sense?
What does make sense is being around people that really do congratulate you and really honor you and are really truthful to you and have space, like know how to hold space for you, but not in a judgmental way. You know, they're able to ask you certain questions, even if those certain questions are like, whoa, that was a bit loaded. But they know they're doing it for a good reason because they want to see you grow and flourish. And if there's genuinity in that. So yeah, being around people that really make you feel good.
That makes sense right there. That does make sense right there. And you need more people that are genuine. It's so hard. We spoke about demons. Demons come in all forms.
Of course.
They might be at work. They might be in your life. They might be in your bed. They come in all type of forms. So you really do have to watch people's actions and see what they say when you are on a high, when you are talking about something positive. Like if you come to someone with some positive energy, I've got this going on, and they throw a shade or throw a dig at something.
Or change the subject to something else.
They're projecting.
Oh,
They're
most
not
definitely.
genuine.
Most definitely.
And we don't.
And you can't deny your own self of what you see, because sometimes you will actually see and feel something over and over and over. It's like, yo, listen to that, because people always show you who they are. Just listen.
Yeah. Alex, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
It's such a pleasure. You're amazing. I'm so glad that you came on. I swear this is like our third interview together.
I think it is about that still.
It seems to happen like every 3 years. Like, where can people find you? Where can people find your stuff?
I am at Ital Alex Kitchen on Instagram and Facebook. Do have a YouTube, but not active on it at the moment.
But go add it anyway.
Also add the Dragon High Priestess on Instagram too.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining into another episode of Mek Sense with Melzy. If you like what you hear, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, melzy.j. You can also find us on all of your podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, and also you need to add us on Instagram as well. Our Instagram is actually popping off. We had 11k views on one of our posts the other day, so congratulations to the team. We're making those numbers and we're really having those real culture conversations. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.